Good afternoon, class. My name is Michael Bellamy, and a few questions we're going to go over for week three. The first one is reflecting on the size and quality of my current audience. The size of my audience has grown from 2 people to 54 people in less than 2 weeks. I'm new to Facebook, social media. It can be uncomfortable when you're asking someone to be your friend and follow you and read your post on your respective page. Um, the quality of my current audience is rather subjective to people on the outside who look to evaluate my friends list, etc. The friends and associates I grew up with haven't seen in about 20 years. Some have made some decisions that may be different from mine, so I cast no judgment. It's something called life. I love them still. One question that was posed was how am I communicating and managing knowledge, and according to the good doctor, I'm utilizing the World Wide Web. As Dr. W illustrates, I'm communicating with connection, organization, sharing, collecting, collaborating, publishing information to engage my audience on social media. Um, I'm filtering the knowledge that's been presented to me. Knowledge is power. We all believe that. In order to become powerful, you must exercise the proper way so to not pull a muscle, so to speak. Um, in other words, I'm utilizing my social media, managing my knowledge by collecting what is positive and beneficial in my closer walk with Christ. Um, Another question was posed was, in what ways are you actively engaging in co-creating new perspectives or prior patterns of learning and knowing? I'm becoming more and more vulnerable in a sense of putting how I feel about a person, place, or thing subject first. I wait on responses and then assess the feedback and follow up questions. Another way is being intentional. Through social media, I'm looking and embracing ways on connecting diverse perspectives on multiple subjects, presenting on the chats. With that being said, in the back of my mind, I think of both the risks and benefits associated with engaging audiences in my quest for knowledge, feedback, and dialogue. Um, the other question that you posed was, have you applied information and knowledge in ways that influence and persuade? Um, I pray that someone is not only hearing me on social media, but also listening to me. I have applied the information and knowledge in ways that influence and persuade, and it's creating a new knowledge on ideals as much as ideas. I have been promoting my ideals that are relevant to kingdom building and also sharing my principles and values on education and my pursuit and goal of starting my doctorate degree starting at the end of the year. I believe that knowledge is power. Again, and I look at it like this: if they are following me on social media, then they must be listening to at least half of what I'm saying. Finally, what could you do to influence and motivate a change in behavior? If you have an audience, are they growing in interest? I believe they're growing in interest because first they haven't seen me in about 20 years, and then you have individuals that I'm just meeting from the class, and also people who just see my picture and see my bio and say, hey, I can kind of walk with this guy. I think of the old quote, if you want other people to change, start with yourself and make change. Week three has allowed me to understand that if you want to influence other people's behavior, then you need to develop trust. I feel that the core trust is persuasive interactions and authenticity. In other words, engaging again in feedback is key, as well as making sure my audience sees that I personally believe and embrace change. Nothing like promoting it, but being a part of change and making change is also essential. To improve and continue engagement with my audience, I must be consistent as well. In closing, my biblical application is I'm reminded of Matthew 5:13, where it talks about the salt and the light. It states, "You are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under people's feet." Being what God wants me to be, even in social media, is what is required in pleasing Jesus. So thank you all for listening. God bless you, and God bless the class and the professor.